I did my studies up to grade 10 in my village, which is Perla, Kasaragod district. After I completed my 10th, I got first class there and I applied for St. Aloysius College. I only had to come personally because my grandfather was there, he was very old. I lost my father very early. So, I made an application only to St. Aloysius College. The first preference was Commerce, second was PCMB. I did not apply to any other college because I thought if I get a admission, let it be, otherwise let us see later on. I got an interview card, I came. So, in the interview panel they said we can't give you commerce because we have to give our first preference to Aloysius College, Aloysius High School students. So, I am a rank outsider. Since I had not applied for any other college, I said okay, I will take the second option, PCMB. Admission got over, paid the fees, bought the books, college started. 2 weeks I had gone to science class. One day I get a note from the principal, wanted by the principal. I thought something has gone really wrong. I went to the principal's chamber, Father L.F. Raskina, late L.F. Raskina. He said, you had opted for commerce. Now there is an opportunity, you have a seat available there. Are you still interested? I said, yes, Father. Next day onwards, I was in commerce class. I was just, thinking back, suppose if this had not happened, maybe my entire life, career, everything would have been something else. But I must appreciate the kind of concern that as a principal of such a premier institution, to remember one boy who had applied for commerce and was denied his choice, who came back and said, are you interested? So, when I was awarded the Eminent Aloysian Award in 2014, I did mention this in my speech. Of course, Father had left for his heavenly abode, but I remembered that but for him, and this would not have happened. And Father Raskina is like, we used to really get scared to even utter his name. That was Father L.F. Raskina. But this is what it is, one man changed the life forever. Otherwise, I would have been a science student, maybe doing some engineering or medicine, we don't know. But that's how I took up commerce. Then after completing my BCom, which I passed out securing first class, I enrolled for CA, and I knew that passing CA is not very easy. So, I enrolled myself for law as well together. So, because we were not sure of passing CA, I did my law first and then did my CA. So, this is one life changing thing, yeah? Very interesting, right?
Yes. Then you continue further.
Further? So, joined law, cleared my law, and then started looking at CA exam really seriously. And I went to Bombay for a coaching class for CA, cleared my intermediate there, then later on cleared my final, and then started auditing banks. In between, I also was into teaching. After clearing my intermediate and after clearing my law, late Vak Prakash Shenoy, who taught us mathematics, because we never had any mathematics after grade 10, and in CA intermediate you had advanced mathematics. So, we spent a lot of time learning mathematics under late Vak Prakash Shenoy. So, he gave me an opportunity. Why don't you teach commerce subjects to some of the students who require some support? I said, okay, I will do that. So, I started teaching accountancy, income tax and costing for grade 12 and BCom and BBA students. I did that for about 7 years. In between, I joined Rotary. Then I left for Abu Dhabi in 1990. I was the president-elect for Rotary Club of Mangalore South. And then I had to leave for Abu Dhabi, and that also is another turning point. I was at the reception of one of my close friends, the partner of Woodlands Hotel in Mangalore, at their lawn on February 28, 1990. That was the reception, wedding reception. So I was there, and Dr. B.R. Shetty's older brother, B.S. Shetty, and we were good friends. So he was also common friend of the partner of Woodlands. So he brought Dr. B.R. Shetty to the reception, and we got introduced. He said, "Are you planning to come to Gulf?" I said, "I can look at it." Then he said, "Give me the passport copy." I said, "Sir, I don't have a passport." Then he said, "You apply for a passport, and once the copy you get, you forward it to us." So I got a passport after a couple of months, and then I sent the passport copy. This was in the month of May. June I got the visa. July 1st I was there in Abu Dhabi. But for that chance meet, I don't think I would have ever thought of going overseas, because I was very well set here. I had my own private practice in a little way, auditing banks and auditing insurance companies, small companies. Then I was also teaching. I was actively involved in Rotary. So I had no reason to leave Mangalore and go. But then I thought, let me just try. So that's how I went into Abu Dhabi in 1990, and rest is history. And the UAE Exchange had 4 branches. So the first ever internal audit department was set up. I was recruited from here, and another chartered accountant was recruited from Bahrain. 2 of us started the first ever internal audit unit for the group. The group had about one medical center and 4 branches of UAE Exchange and some trading units. So as a audit function, I was going to UAE Exchange for internal audit 4 days a week. 2 days a week I was spending in the hospital side. So I started this in 1990 July. 1991 December, the person who was heading the UAE Exchange, he passed away. It was sudden, on late Clarence Rupert. So then, since I was going for the internal audit to the unit, so the board said, "You go and take charge of the exchange." This was 1991 December. So I took charge of the exchange with 4 branches and 67 employees. And then right throughout, we had something in mind, saying that we should be doing what the other service providers are not doing, because it's a very highly competitive market. We had number of exchange companies doing remittances and offering exchange service, everything. So our focus was to embark upon technology. As early as 1994, first time ever in the industry, we set up a in-house IT development team. Recruited 2 people from Chennai. They came over. We started the unit, and we started briefing them what would be our future requirement. And they were also part of the business, so they knew exactly where the business is going, what are the changes that needs to be done, what are the aspirations of the customers. We continuously listen to our customers, because they will give us the fantastic feedback. What is okay with us, what is not okay with us, what is good with us, what is good with our competitors, all sort of information, because we had kept our ears and eyes open. So the IT team had good knowledge of the business. So that really helped us. So we went on developing different platforms. So suddenly in 1996, plague broke out in Surat. I distinctly remember late P.V. Narasimha Rao was the Prime Minister of the country. This went on, and the flights operating out of Gulf, they stopped operating to India, because there is plague in India. Now plague in Surat was not known in Bombay, but overseas it's a plague in India. So 26 days it went on. So our product was Those days the product was only one product. You print a draft. It's not a draft, it's a check. It's a check you are drawing on your current account. So the customer comes, pays us the local currency, takes a check or a draft in Indian rupee, and he goes to the post office, sends it by postal service to India and other countries, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Philippines, everywhere. So since the flights were not operating to India, the postal service to India also got affected. Then what we did, as a stopgap arrangement, we engaged a courier company to carry the packets from us, because we told our customers, you take a draft, leave the envelope with us, we will reach it to your home. Those days the draft has to reach to their family or to the bank branch where the customer was holding an account. So we engaged a courier company to pick up our entire packet from UAE to London, London to Bombay. London to Bombay flights were operating. So then we engaged a local courier in Bombay, and the local courier company distributed all these packets across India. Then we thought this problem might arise in the future also. We told the IT guys, now develop something where we can send the entire file to India and print the drafts in India. They, in 1.5 years time, they came out with the technology and they said, now the files can move to India, and drafts, instead of printing there, it can be printed in India. Then we thought, which is the best place to print? Since almost 60% of the load was to Kerala, we thought Cochin is the ideal place to print. Now to print in Cochin, we need RBI permission. We started engaging RBI. We told RBI, we are having this technology, allow us to print. Then they said, I am cutting the story short. They said, no, you can't print these instruments here because it will amount to, transaction being conducted here, then security reasons, then controls, everything. Then one by one we said, we convinced them. Finally, after about a year, almost by 1997 fag end, they gave us the clearance saying that, okay, now you can print in Cochin. That was the turning point, because from a situation where the customer did not even know how many days it used to take, it used to take not less than 14 to 21 days from the time you issue a draft till the time the draft gets encashed. This was a clear 21 days. So we went to all the customers and we said, no matter which corner of India you are from, we will reach your draft to your destination within 72 hours. What we did, the draft started printing in India, one signature there, one signature here. We sign and send the entire box, here they sign and deliver. The couriers which were carrying the packets from Cochin office to nook and corner of India, they came back the following day to pick up the next day's packet. They gave us the proof of delivery. The proof of delivery was input into the system and it reflected there saying that the packet has been delivered. This information we started giving to the customer saying that your draft has reached. And this was something amazing and path breaking for a market where you had only the traditional route. This is where we started getting the market share. Finally, out of 118 companies operating in UAE, we were enjoying more than 62% of the market share. Now this, further we went ahead and we started a product called Express Money, where instantaneously money could be paid across India through our own branches or through the bank network. This was up to 50,000 rupees as per the RBI guidelines. So we started sending this instant. You pay anywhere and you receive it here. ഇപ്പോൾ അയക്കുക ഉടൻ കൈപ്പറ്റുക, अभी भेजो तुरंत पाओ, send now, receive now. This was our punchline in all the languages, and this took off. this product, we started engaging agents worldwide. Finally, when I retired in the year 2019 Jan, we were operating in 175 countries with more than 2 lakh locations where money could be received in minutes. In the same way, we expanded our network. We were operating only in UAE until 1994. 1995, we moved out to Oman, 96 to Kuwait, 97 to India, retail. India back office was set up in 1996. Then started acquiring companies in Australia, in London, in parts of AGCC, Arab Gulf Cooperation Councils like Egypt, Jordan, Gulf countries, these African countries. We were having our operations in Sudan, in Botswana, in South Africa, in Uganda, almost about 7 or 8 countries. Then also we started, we set up a company in the US called MoneyDot in 1999 and started expanding to all the states. And in US, we need not have to go for a retail presence. We took license from all the 50 states and lined up with all the existing license holders in those, because for them it's an additional revenue. They have to just handle the transaction, they get one third of the transaction fee. This was the model it was working. And in the for the purpose of sending the money, transfers, we started a relationship with almost all the banks across the globe. We were the first non-banking institution to have direct SWIFT member, Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications, SWIFT.